No, you just hit a certain level, and like the stuff that at one point you thought was like high level, or the stuff you see that impresses like up and comers and young guys that want it all and all this stuff, it becomes cheap. Like I see these guys that have 10 fucking supercars, 20 supercars, luxury cars, and I'm like, dude, I got the same 3 cars. Not because I can't afford cars. I could literally fucking send text messages to the dealers that I know and have Lambos and Rolls Royces and Ferraris dropped off at my house. I could buy 10 cars right now, bro. I could. And it just like, it loses its fucking pizzazz. And maybe some people like supercar people, so that doesn't apply to them. I have to take that into consideration. But it's just about levels to the fucking game. Right? Like, you know what gets me excited? Like some people want to work towards getting the Lambo, or work towards getting the Bugatti, or work towards like something. Bro, I fucking, like, I'm sitting here on another episode of Jet Talks with your boy, Eric Spofford, and the things that excite me right now, literally, like the things, because you have to have a goal, right? You have to have like the thing that you want is a fucking much bigger and newer and more complex, sophisticated jet. Like this jet will go coast to coast, and I can get to like a couple spots in Europe to get gas to get over there. I want a G650, or I want a Global 7500, and that leaves Miami and goes to Dubai nonstop, with like sleeping arrangements on the fucking jet. And like, that's like, oh hell yeah. That's a 20, 30, 40, $50 million plane. So to contextualize that, like people like see me with the jet and then compare me to influencers that have a couple nice cars. Like, these are not the same things, bro. For the amount of money it costs me to have this jet, I could have a fleet of 50 to 100 cars. Like, all paid for, insurance, fucking everything. So it's, people don't hold them in the right context of like, this thing is not that thing. You're like, and you can't fake a jet, right? Like, and so like, these are the things that get me excited. Like, I think about that plane and the freedom that represents, of being able to just wake up and be like, you know what? Let's go to Mykonos. It's July. It's a weekend. Let's fly to Greece. Bang, from no gas, straight from here to Mykonos, fucking leave at 12 p.m., have a little dinner, go out to dinner, have the bags on the jet, pull up to the jet, get on, say hi to the pilots, chill, get everyone settled. You have the beds, all that shit, fucking fall asleep, wake up, all of a sudden you fucking got nice 7 hours of sleep, and you're waking up in fucking Mykonos, or you're going to Dubai, or you're going to fucking Tokyo, fucking straight to Japan, right? Like, that's the shit in my head, the next level that I'm trying to get to. Right now I'm on wake up and fucking go to Cleveland, Ohio, that we just left, but like go to Vegas, LA, New York, back to Boston, I haven't taken them to Europe, but I could. And so, you know, becoming more of this global entrepreneur with the range of that. And then the other thing that I'm working towards that gets me excited, because at new levels, there's new devils, there's new goals. Like, the most dangerous thing for a man is to climb a mountain and get to the top without a bigger mountain to climb. And a lot of people will hear what I'm saying right now and be like, oh, Eric, why do you need a bigger jet? Why do you need a bigger, all this shit that you're talking about? And it's like, I really don't. I don't need any of it, right? But I have to have goals, because if I don't have goals, if I don't have bigger things to go after, it only leaves me with the option of going back down this mountain, destroying it all the way down just so I can conquer it again. And so I must have a bigger mountain to climb. And so, like, why do I go to the marina and sit on the yacht when it's not broken and work from the boat? Because I'm sitting there on a $6 million yacht, and directly across from me is a 200-foot yacht that costs $75 million, named Just Jay's. Sometimes There's a yacht that's 380 feet long that costs $3 million a week just to charter it, called AHPO, AHPO, if you want to look it up. And so I sit there and look at it, and it's like, fuck, I'm sitting in a marina on my yacht, and I feel poor. Hear what I just said there. I'm sitting in a marina on my multi-million dollar, almost 100-foot long yacht that has 5 bedrooms and a private chef, and I fucking feel poor. The environment you put yourself in. And so I sit here and I'm like, I need the bigger plane. I want the bigger plane. I got to work towards it. I want the bigger jet. I want to hit that, that net worth status of not 100 million. Everyone knows, I sold the business for 115 million net worth, whatever, of hundreds, 500, 750, $1 billion net worth over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, right? And so there really is levels to this fucking game. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, is that just because you get the most views and the most likes doesn't mean you're the realist. In fact, it oftentimes means you're full of shit and you owe the pander to the audience. And just because you have a Lambo or a fucking fancy supercar, what do they call above a supercar? A hypercar. Have these things, like, you've done very well for yourself to get to that position, no doubt. But the context of supercar, hypercar to yacht, jet, crazy shit, there is such a big delta and a gap. It's really, people don't understand how much space there is between those levels. And then when you get these things, they don't understand how much space there is between a $6 million plane and a $6 million yacht, and a $60 million plane, a G650, G750, Global 7500, and a $75 million yacht. Like, and then the difference in lifestyle. Like, a lot of people want to get to where I'm at, and kudos to them. I obsessed over getting right where I'm at for fucking years. Now I'm obsessed over getting the next level and the next level, because it's about the game and it's about having fun. And so the next level that I'm looking at is having that plane, having the boat that's not a local boat, but the boat that goes to the Mediterranean for the summer, is all around Europe, right? In Greece, Spain, Italy, the south of France, fucking Monaco, the whole shit. And then in the wintertime, it's in the Caribbean, it's in Miami, and your jet is bouncing you around. The nanny's bringing the kids, like, that total fucking freedom, guys. And my point in all of this is that you have to dream. You have to have this larger than life vision. Like, listen to everything that I'm talking about. Who the fuck am I? Can you guys contextualize where I came from to even be where I'm at now, let alone talking about where I want to be and what I'm working towards? And the odds of coming from dropping out of high school at 15 years old while addicted to heroin, being addicted to heroin and cocaine and all these other drugs for almost 7 years, overdosing 5 times, ending up on life support, crashing cars, disappointing everyone. Like, dude, just this train wreck of a person. I was actually in the car yesterday, and I was driving through the city of Cleveland working, and a certain song came on. I can't even remember what it was, but it reminded me of this one time that I was living in this halfway house up in Portland, Maine. And I had gone out with this kid to a comedy show and inadvertently drank a drink of alcohol. It was a Bacardi and Coke. I picked it up by accident, which set off the disease of alcoholism and addiction for me. And then I relapsed. I got thrown out of the halfway house. And this other kid who had left the halfway house, who had had a girlfriend, I wish I remembered his name. He had gotten out of prison. He had done some prison time and was at the halfway house, but he was like working and drinking. And I went from drinking on that relapse to hardcore drug addiction. And I remember he didn't let me stay at his girlfriend's house on the couch, but I had like robbed these kids and had all these pills. And I traded the pills for Coke, and I wouldn't come out of this bathroom. of this apartment, and I was shooting cocaine. And I couldn't stop shooting cocaine, and I couldn't come out of the bathroom. I was frozen in there. And he's banging on the door like he's gonna kill me because his girlfriend woke up and she has to get ready for work. I had this blood all over the bathroom from me shooting up and like missing shit, and like it was fucking gross. It was ugly. Finally, fucking I come out. He's like, dude, you gotta go. You gotta get the fuck out of here. And I'm like, all right, man. I'm all bugged out, dude, shooting coke, high on heroin, like, speedballing. And it's like maybe 7 in the morning, and I've been up for God knows how long. And I go walking through the city, and I had met this girl, Lindsay Healy, who I'd done some drug deal with. I don't remember. But I remember calling her randomly and being like, hey, fucking, you want to get high? It's like 7 in the morning. She's like, yeah, come over. And so I go over her house, and I have this bag of coke and this bag of pills. And we're shooting coke, and I run out of coke, and I eat a bunch of Xanax, and I crush up a 40 milligram or an 80 milligram Oxycontin, I don't remember, out of the bag of pills. And I'm trying to come off of the coke. And I remember you could shoot up Oxycontin. And so I loaded up the needle, and I got high on the Oxycontin, but the benzos from the Xanax and the opiates, they don't mix well. It's how I overdosed all this time. It's actually the 5th time I overdosed. And I remember I went out. I don't really remember, but I remember I came to, and I didn't know this girl. I knew her for a day. And I had met her. That was the first day I was hanging out with her. And I come to in the hospital, and I got breathing tube, and that's coming out, and I got IVs, and the thing's beeping, and I'm in the emergency room. Now, I'm not new to this. It's like my 5th time there. And so I come to, I know what's going on. The first time I ever overdosed, I thought I got abducted by aliens when I was coming out. I was like, there was lights, there were people. This nurse with their cold hand grabbed me by the prick and stuck a catheter in me. And I like whacked him, and like, it was crazy. I was running around naked. It was wild. But now I'm like used to this shit, right? And I remember coming to enough. And I remember I had this wad of cash from the drugs that I was dealing. I had this bag of drugs from this kid that I had robbed. And I had a gun. I had a Walther P22 handgun that I got along the way somehow. And I think I had some jewelry or something. And I remember her sitting next to me, and me coming out of this overdose, and me just the second I came to and realized what was going on, I reached out and grabbed her by the throat. And I never hit a woman. That's probably as close as I ever came. But I looked at her, and I just dead serious. I was like, where the fuck is my shit? And she was like, it's all good. It's safe. It's at the house. Before they came, I hid it outside. Can I tell you, I fell in love with that woman right then? Sitting in that hospital bed, I was like, this girl is fucking solid. She hid my gun, hid my drugs, got me to the hospital, made sure I was alive, came with me, and was standing here, while I came out of this overdose. I got the fuck up out of that hospital bed and went back. And this was the beginning of the last relapse that lasted 6 months. That I ended up getting sober on December 7th of 2006. It was about 6 months before I got sober. The next 6 months, me and this girl, Lindsay Healy, tore shit up, man. Like, I mean, we fucked shit up bad. Robbing people, robbing stores, selling drugs, crazy shit. And that's what led up to that last story that I always tell. I never tell this whole story. I always tell this last moment and let people's imagination fill in all the shit that must have happened for me to get to that one day that I robbed the kid, December 6th, 2006, that led to me getting sober. But can I tell you that December 7th of 2006, early in the morning, in that closet where I got on my knees and I said that prayer, hiding from the police, swearing that I was probably going to prison, asking God for fucking help. Because I didn't know what to do with my life. She was in that trap house. I was in the closet. And the next morning, that morning when the sun comes up, I leave. That's December 7th, 2006. I got 2 pairs of clothes in a trash bag. I don't even have a backpack. I got no winter coat. It's December up north. I'm sick. I'm like a man, skinny, track marks. Like, man, it was not good. And dude, I start walking to these 12-step meetings and start digging into recovery. And for the next month, I'm touching base with her. She's calling me here and there, telling me what's going on. I'm telling her to come down and get clean. And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna come. It was always like, tomorrow, I got this to do. And I knew what she was doing. She's getting high. And I've never told this fucking story before. And January 8th, I got a call and she died. She died of a fucking overdose. I was sober 1 month and 1 day. And I was floored, man. I was heartbroken. And this dude from an NA meeting, his name was Care Bear Steve. I don't know if Care Bear Steve is fucking watching this shit, but I remember, here's the thing about me that you need to know. If you've ever done anything for me, I fucking remember that shit. And like at the time, dude, I wasn't shit. I didn't even have a place to live. I didn't even have a fucking winter coat. And Care Bear Steve fucking drove me to that funeral. 2 hours each way. And I walked to that funeral parlor and I felt the guilt on my shoulders, like I thought her death was my fault. She had a daughter. She had just gotten out of the prison, and she had done time as the youth prison before that. She had like a 5 or 6 year old daughter. And I seen her mom, who was like, had her own problems. And, you know, it was a fucked up scene, man. And, you know, I had a hard time with that for a long time, thinking that I abandoned her in like survivor's guilt for her and so many of my other friends that died. Well, my point is, like, I paint this picture, like, guys, that's where the fuck I started. That's what the early days for me looked like, right? People dying all around me, strung out, filled with fucking pain. I would have fucking gladly settled for a job in the union or a good construction job, a girl that like fucking knew how to cook dinner and didn't cheat on me, a little house, a dog, and a pickup truck. Not that there's anything wrong with that. That's not a bad life. But if I had fucked that seemed so unrealistic to me at that time that you have to, and I'm telling you that because you have to calibrate that. If you cannot paint the vision, if you can't build the fucking dream, if you can't say it with confidence, unapologetically into the world, just like I was just telling you about the boat and the fucking plane and the lifestyle that I want and all this stuff that I'm working towards, right? If you can't fucking do all that shit, it's never going to happen. If I never believed that I couldn't stay sober for the rest of my life, I wouldn't have. If I didn't believe that I could build that business, I never would have. If I didn't believe that I could have this success, I wouldn't have. If I didn't obsess over owning an airplane for 4 years, 5 years, I never would have got one. Now this is my second airplane. This airplane's twice as big as my last airplane, and my next airplane is gonna be twice as big as this airplane. And that's my point, guys. Is that in this red pill, blue pill fucking world, you have to decide what your future is. You have to decide what you're capable of. And so many people look to wait for someone to give them permission, to wait for someone else to empower them to be great, to want a fantastic life, to want all this high level shit, to be the person that they were meant to be. No one's gonna give you permission. You have to kick the fucking door down and go and get it. That is fucking 1,000,000% true. No one is coming to rescue you. It is 110% on you. I fucking mean that. And I love you guys so much to tell you the fucking truth that guys, you don't need shit. You don't need an apology from the people that hurt you. You don't need permission from anyone. You don't have to worry about the criticism of other people holding you back. You don't have to wait for someone to give you a handout. The amount of messages I get of people asking me, Eric, how do I get an investor? With love and respect, fuck you. I never had an investor, right? Like, you go out, you work your fucking face off. Like, I need an investor is just another excuse of why you can't do it with what you fucking have. Like, you can absolutely fucking do this. You guys are in so much more power and control of your life and the outcome than you even fucking realize. You just are calibrated to how hard it's actually going to be, how long it's actually going to fucking take, and how powerful amongst all of that you actually fucking are. And I assure you that whatever your dream is, right? Like, God willing, I'm gonna get that fucking plane. I'm gonna get that 200-foot boat. I'm gonna get all these fucking things that I want. One, because they're goals that I set for myself. And two, because I wanna come back on here and fucking show all the fucking people that have watched the fucking journey that if I can do it, you can too. And if I can make it to these fucking levels, then there's no reason why you can't fucking get to the levels that fucking you wanna get to. And so really it's about, you have to make your goals about smashing them for yourselves and also having the end result being productive and being helpful to other people and being a positive addition to fucking God's kids and set an example for other people. So listen, guys, it's a very personal story to me telling you about the loss of Lindsay. You know, I've never said that on camera before, but I want you guys to understand how much pain I was in January, grieving her death, while at the same time focusing on building my life, and that how many things that have come to knock me down since that. You think this has been easy? You think I've just been working hard? It hasn't just been working hard, guys. It has been obstacle after obstacle after obstacle, adversity after adversity, and pain after pain, and suffering on top of fucking suffering, and doing it anyways. I love you guys. Another episode of Jet Talks, number 2, I believe. This is the thing. I'm very comfortable sitting here talking my shit on the fucking plane. I hope you enjoyed it. I feel at peace at 40,000 feet, guys. So I hope you find your 40,000 feet. And when you do, I'll fucking see you there. I'll see you at the top. I love you.